What's up?
What's happening?
It's No Plain Janes.
No Plain Janes.
Welcome back, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Top of the week.
Top of the week. I see them likes and subscribes going up. Y'all listening to me. I see you.
They're liking the cast.
They're liking it.
They're liking
And
the
we got
vibe.
something new. Andy, tell them what happened. Tell them about Buddy.
We talking about Devin or AB?
Both of them.
We can give him a shout out.
Devin. Give a shout out to Devin.
Shout out to Devin Kari, who liked our video and reached out and was like, because at first he was like, he'll do promos for anybody. And then I was like, hey, can we get you on the podcast? And he's like, well, let me see a video. And he saw the video. He's like, okay, I'm going to do a reaction for you guys right now.
That's what's up. Who is he? Who's Devin Kari?
Devin Kari, he's a comedian.
Okay.
He's out of Indiana.
Okay.
He's been on World Star. He's been on funny videos. He's got a lot of he's got a really big
That's dope.
following.
I just know he followed me today.
Yeah.
He followed me and then shouted me out and then tagged me. I was like, who is this man?
Devin's a good dude.
He kept his word.
He was quick. Yeah.
He was
kept
quick.
his word.
He's
He was
all
quick.
about building and helping others,
That's what's
and
up.
he
We
saw how
support that.
quick he got it, and he just wanted to help out, and it's been helping. Our video's at 1.5 thousand views.
Let's go. Our views going up, baby. It's up.
And that's on Facebook.
It's up and it's stuck.
So
And we got a guest tonight.
we sure
Yes,
do.
we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not a
Thank
plain
you.
Jane at all.
Ooh, let's come with it. Come with it. Y'all see that fresh alkaline water?
We got a real one today on the set.
Definitely no plain Jane.
What's
AB.
going on? Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thank
Say it
you.
again. Say it again.
Thank you. Definitely no plain Jane
Got it.
here.
Let's
Right.
go. No plain Janes in the building.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Introduce
Well, thank y'all. I'm Aaron Brewer and known friends here for a couple of years.
Okay.
Actually, even longer than that now, as the time flies. And I'm I don't know. I'm into many different things, so it's like I'm open and to have a range of diverse topics to talk about. And myself, I engulf myself into health, basically to create longevity for myself for the future, build a legacy behind that. And basically in the last couple of years, I've had a complete turnaround. I was just kind of vibing and hanging out and really lost in life and have found direction. So that's a big passion of mine, to share that with others.
That's good. That's good. So
Inspire them.
you're philosophical. That's good.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
that.
things
I like
going on.
that. Yeah.
He's a Florida boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up here, North Florida, and then I made my way down the state and been here for the last 11, 12 years.
That's good.
Yo, the Bing Bong thing is going crazy.
Told you.
It's going
It
crazy.
just started.
Did you watch the game?
His name is Nems.
Not the game that I missed, but-
Nems. This is like
I
rapper
still
name.
didn't. Yeah, I just see it everywhere.
So he's like a local New York rapper, right? And Fat Joe liked him, so he kind of gave him a shout out on the radio. So now every time the Knicks hit a 3-pointer, they play his ad lib in the arena,
Wow.
and he literally got big overnight because of it.
But all social media, all you see is.
But it's it's a cool ad lib.
Hashtag Bing Bong.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
It's
Bing
like
bong.
bing bong every time they hit a 3. It's like a little cool whatever. Even though they lose.
But he said it in a song, so now it's all over social media.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I
Everywhere.
wonder if it's protected, because they use
If he patented
if they
it,
use his likeness.
Right.
So does he get something
would
from
hope
that?
if
I
he
would hope
patented
so.
it,
I would hope so.
I hope he patented it.
I hope so.
And if not, it's still notoriety. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to capitalize on any of those situations,
Yeah,
as far
that's
as
true.
getting, I'm sure, millions of people to follow.
Yeah.
Or at least 1 million.
No.
At
in a-
least,
in a
yeah,
setting
on
like that.
World Star and
Yeah.
NBA hoops whatever and these little things.
and it gets played at the Knicks game, right?
yeah. Every,
It's-
every
So
time they hit a 3.
everyone that goes inside and outside of Madison Square Garden to watch the games or whatever, I'm pretty sure they
They're
use
gonna
it
hear
all the
that
time. They're gonna
ding
hear
dong.
that, yeah.
That's dope.
Uh-oh, y'all boys waiting on us?
No, they was already recording.
No, we recording already. No, we recording already.
You just go.
yeah,
You just
we
keep
were just going.
So a fun fact about Mr. AB over there.
What's the fun fact?
What's the fun fact?
Do you guys know who Clinton Portis is?
Clinton Portis. What's up?
Clinton Portis,
Okay.
NFL.
Yeah, we know him.
You related to
running
him?
back, rookie of the year.
Uh huh.
He was Clinton Portis' fullback in high school.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Opening all those
crazy.
holes.
Yeah, I
For
was
CP.
the smallest back, but also the lead black.
So we can, on some butterfly effect ish,
Yeah.
if Aaron wasn't there, maybe Clinton doesn't get to UM.
Yeah, we'll
Right?
say that.
Because Aaron opened up all those holes for him, and that's how he made All
I
American,
was
All
in the highlight
State.
tape.
Bro,
That's
you
crazy.
were the fullback.
His highlight tape was my highlight tape. put it that way.
Yeah,
And
because all his stuff,
yeah,
you
yeah.
were his lead blocker.
we had a counter that he ran well, but a lot of them were lead sweeps or like
That's
I knock out the defensive
crazy.
end and he comes right off my hip and then
I just want to
Nice.
shout out my homie because he
yeah.
put in work.
Shout out
That's
to
what's up,
Clay.
though.
That's my homie too. I
What
love that
school
guy.
did you go to?
Gainesville High School.
Gainesville.
So-
Okay.
Yeah, we're the Purple Hurricanes, bro.
Woo.
It's cool. His situation from my perspective was he really didn't get serious about football, like serious till his senior year,
Okay.
and then he just like grinded out.
It's actually a lot
And-
of people.
Yeah, it just got real. But fun story about that. Like UF offered him a scholarship. It was like, yo, we'll give you a DB scholarship. And he was like, I'm going to run the ball.
Yeah,
UM. So
yeah.
I remember when he came back, he was like, I'm going to UM. They got me a running back. So he was just determined. He felt I guess I mean, he used to. So this gets in. We can. I don't know where we go with this, but
we talk
like,
sports. Go ahead.
I remember him like telling me he would dream about his touchdowns, right? And I was like, "What's that?" So now, 20-something years later, I get it. It was envisioning, It was
Manifesting?
envision. Like inward visions become
Mm-hmm.
outward, experiences. So
Okay.
he was like doing that back in. So he essentially manifested a lot of success
That's
and
good.
opportunities
That's
for
good.
himself that young age. So, yeah. So for
It's-
me, it like gave to me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna start thinking about scoring. So.
That's dope. That's dope.
He manifested it because it's like you're chasing the dream. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I
it was
like what you
beautiful.
said. You said inward envision.
Yeah,
Yes.
envision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outward.
Yeah, outward experience like creates that outward experience. And it don't always go as planned, but it's that beginning of that, and it's like how that works.
The mental.
So
Yeah,
I plus E, envision plus experience,
Yeah.
inward outward.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I like
mean,
I
that.
like that. I like that.
So how is that carried on into the new AB?
Yeah, in life, well, I don't know. I would say, I started to realize that everything that I ran into was actually like the outward experience was all a reflection of the inward. So it's like even being here today is an outwardly expression of your inward vision of, well, what do you want to do with yourself? What are you doing in your future? What did you go through? What are you sharing with others? So it's like, even just to this moment, it's like
Yeah.
being here, boom, this is the outward experience of an inward vision. So, and I did podcasting years ago, and it's like, this was like, I was passionate about it, and then just things didn't go that route, and I still like carried on with it a little bit. But it's like, boom, okay, hey, would you want to do this? Heck yeah, I want to do this, So
You had a nice little pod.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
like
just
the
the
two
opportunity to be back sitting with some people and talking.
Having a conversation.
Yeah,
That's all it is. That's dope,
So,
man. That's dope.
so it came, like I said, not exactly how you want it all the time, but then those opportunities there, and it's like, oh,
They
what?
do.
And then for me, it's like, well, is my passion sitting there and doing all of this, or do I want to be out sharing and connecting and meeting different people and touching base with people's different followings, and also getting back into what we can before recording, but like just that reciprocity of also sharing my audience with your people, I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
with you. So exposing you and showing your inspirations and things you do, So,
Right.
yeah,
good.
so
What's your take on? How can I word this? What's your take on how you vision the world now, in your mature age versus when you were younger? Being that you've always been open, technically.
I think as a kid I was naive, and I thought like, and I think in a lot of the experience I went about, I was like wanted to push my like literally strengthen, like go through it like physically.
Yeah.
And now I see the world more ethereal, spiritual, metaphysical instead of so physical.
Metaphysical.
Yeah, so
Metaphysical,
like getting
yeah.
out of this like super dense being experience that I had kind of like continued to repeat and
The 3D experience.
yeah, and I was thinking about this like just as you had like talked to me a little bit. I don't know like to get into these terms, that's how a lot of these terms we may bring up, but they're just descriptions, and they're the most modern description of it.
Right.
I don't like dive into these things to describe myself, but yeah, we live in a third density or dimension that depends on the view, but there's a very 5D experience going on by some people's description, which is
Talk to him.
yeah, the metaphysical God, this creation or creator, something going on beyond me, So that's where when you start to get into ethereal, spiritual, metaphysical, that's the realm that I started to see the world in as an adult, and to try to share that, like kind of experience it and also share it with others, because like like I said, I was really into trying to will myself through things before, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna do my part, but I'm also gonna trust, and I'm also gonna like know where my heart is and focus on that too, like my emotional well-being, because that was like a huge hindrance for me, emotional. Like,
You have a lot of self-practice now with like meditation and how you speak on or understanding certain philosophies on life itself.
Yeah,
you try to kind of
a lot of
analytical with certain things, like break it down and stuff.
Just on practices, in regards to practices, I picked up what I started doing was just a lot of practices, like what's gonna work for me, and like figured out certain things. I definitely physically need to move my body to get into a meditative state often, because I'm so high sprung. Yeah, I'm like high wired. So or I could, you know, use some medicine or use some plants that could like calm me down. But in general, I started doing a lot of like Qigong movement.
What's Qigong?
It's basically just moving your body in a lot of ways, or recognizing your energy.
You seen Iron Fist?
Yeah,
it's like
that's like Qigong. There's Qigong, Tai Chi. There's, you know, different energy movement practices, and there's also like yoga, like where they mix in yoga, which is stretching in with it. So like for us, like the big thing is as we get older, we sit still more, you know. So it's like the big thing was to move my body.
Is it a smaller piece? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
Is it a smaller piece of capoeira? Like, I know capoeira is more of a spiritual dance that formed into a fighting style, but I mean, what you were saying with the
Qigong, yeah. Qigong is less fighting. Okay. So, but it would, if you were to look at movements or even that's more. So Qigong is like slow movement. Okay. But then that's what I'm saying. I don't even know everything I learned. I just started following people that were like on their own journey and sharing it. Okay. And so sometimes it was like
the breathing exercises they do.
It's all correlated. Yeah. So Qi is energy, right? So it's just energy and motion. You know, Qi, that's what Qigong is motion. So it's energy and motion. So you could probably say we're always practicing Qigong. Right. It's just a matter of what level we're practicing, you know, or experiencing it. So
I listened to like a pretty interesting lecture, Mantak Chia. I think his name is.
That sounds like
it's all about name. like Qigong and like movements, and he's like, if we all did this like every morning, like we'd be better off.
The Zen swing, probably.
To start the most basic.
Well, if you just like, I mean, maybe he was talking about just the practice, but this most basic thing where you just like, your legs are spread out shoulder width, and you just roll to your legs and you move your arms behind. Like they just say, if you did that 15 minutes a day, we'd all be healthier, more mental clarity. It's like grounds you, especially if you take and touch the earth and kind of like get grounded with the earth. They just say it's healing, and it aligns your body and your mind and everything. So
it's like a form of meditative healing.
Yeah, it's like a meditative movement. So like, because you can do walking meditation too. Like it's just a state of being and awareness. And
walking meditation. I've never heard that.
Like instead of being with your thoughts, just being with your breath while you're walking. You know, so running is in some sense descriptive of meditation.
A zone, yes, because some people can run, and I'm like,
that's why you get that runner's high though, because it's that breath work and it's that energy and motion. So that's why it's like you call it this, you can call it this, and these people. It's basically where did the practice come from, and then how did they practice this? But all of it's really
marathons. They focus on breathing. Yeah, and a lot of people run in water. They run in water to open their lungs.
Breath is life is one of my mentors like statements. That's one of his courses. Breath and that like
life.
So that's what I was to say. All that brought me back to my breath, and then learning to the more I use my breath and like learn to breathe, I can regulate myself. Like right now is because we've been engaging and I'm like super engaged. It's like relax for a second.
You're excited. You're excited.
So that's what I was just about to ask you. Like, I feel like there's like a basic breathing that people just really don't know about. Like, what is that basic breath? Like how you just said.
Well, one is to use your nose, not to. It's like, have you ever heard like you might not even know what it meant, but a mouth breather. Mm-hmm. Like people be like, you mouth breather, and it's because when you breathe out of your mouth, you never really get like it's real hard to get all the way down. But when you breathe through your nose, because you can pull like a straw and you can feel your lower extremities. Therefore, like your diaphragm, like everything starts to move energy and motion again further down, and then that kind of like can bring you back to like center yourself or to warm your body. So, or to cool your body if you're hot, you know. So, breath, yeah. Nice. So, but the breath, the big thing is to learn to breathe through your nose, and also to learn like to consciously. I have to like sit up to do it too, because I'm like, but to consciously breathe into this and feel that like pushing down here, and then and letting it out as well, because like you can. There's I don't know, but that's like a real breath. That's like, well, I don't say a real breath. That's a for me.
It's a conscious breath.
Yeah, really conscious breath.
Yeah, it's breathing mechanisms, right?
Yeah.
Because in track and field, when I would do long running, my coach would say, well, try to breathe through your nose instead of breathing through your mouth, because you could kind of control.
Yeah, you can slow your heart rate down. You can use less energy too.
For long distance, yeah.
And like Buddha is like one of the reasons is like the man who breathes the least like lives the longest. It's like just slow your breath.
Oh, really?
That's a whole nother topic and potential like concept.
Okay.
No, but yeah.
but
Season 2.
Well, think about it. If you're breathing fast all the time, that means you're always exerting yourself really hard. And that's what I mean. Like, you can get as much done without the heavy breathing if you learn to breathe. If you learn how to oxygenate your body. And if you, the cleaner your body is, that's, another part of that. Like, the oxygen reaches further, right? Circulation, all that. So, yeah.
No, I find that interesting. That's why I'm listening to you, because people who sing or do theater, like they practice
diaphragmatic breathing.
That's exactly what they practice.
Yeah.
And then when he was breaking it down, I was like, that's exactly what my friend tell me when it comes to singing or reciting plays and monologues, like how he can zone in and not have to take so many breaths where he loses train of thought. He puts like pockets of what he needs to know. I'm like, that's crazy.
Wow,
that's a whole nother level right
just
there.
Breathing. Just breathing. That's crazy.
The more
and anxiety issues for the mental health, people who have anxiety issues, like as young, my mother's a nurse. She'll speak on just controlling your breathing and controlling your body energy. Like, you just center yourself and like really breathe, because it can calm you down. Because people get they hyperventilate, or they have so much passion they can't control it. So you have to just kind of like ground yourself, and then the breathing will help.
You said center yourself is grounding yourself. It's another term for it, but centering yourself's huge, man. Yeah, because it's like, it seems like your energy is all over when you're in that place. So it's like just coming back to yourself, your one self, like, that's beautiful.
How would you help someone that has anxiety issues? Like, I just really understood, I think I had an anxiety attack, like, I want to say it was like summertime, and it was like really weird. I never was able to identify what happened, but I was like driving home and like thinking of my grandmother. Like, I guess it had just hit me because she recently passed a couple years ago. But like, I don't know, there was a song playing or something. I guess I don't even know how it happened. How it
triggered into this space.
Yeah, it just triggered. Into the space. But I felt I was with her in that moment. But then, like, when I parked, I was like, yo, I need to wait for a second. I was like, I need to chill, because I was like, my heart was racing, and then I was like, what's going on? I had to call somebody. I was like,
that one's hard for me. That may not be anxiety attack. That might have just been the fact that she was like with you, and it was her like letting go, like, touching base.
I called it an anxiety attack because I was talking.
No,
to
I don't know. I don't know what you felt afterwards. During. Did you feel lost and like panic?
I was like in
a
gaze. Like, I just kind of like, I was breathing hard, and then I just was like staring away, and then talking to someone kind of calmed me down, and then my head was hurting, my eyes, my vision was kind of blurry. Like, it was like serious, and I didn't know what it was.
It was very energetic.
Yeah, it was very energetic.
That sounds like some big energy.
Yeah,
very energetic.
Transfer.
So, like, shed a tear a little bit, got teary eye, because. Of course, I started thinking about the good things, though, not bad stuff, but started thinking about her, and just I was like, damn. Well, I was like, is this my time where I actually am grieving? Because how people move on with life and you don't grieve properly, or you're just so distracted. You distracted yourself so much, like, you never embrace actual new birth of life. So.
But I read somewhere where it said that anxiety is like worrying, being in the state of you're unsure. But when you're going through anxiety, you're supposed to tell yourself, like, you're not in danger. Like, I'm safe. In this moment, I'm safe. I'm not in danger.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never
had
that.
So that the moment itself could have just caused the very anxiousness because of just how strong, and attached with the emotions and what triggered it. But if you were going through it again, it would be like another, a little deeper.
I've never had those kind of episodes.
Well, that's good for you, because that seems like you released at that moment, like you had a kind of a realization, and like you said, that final grieving. So,
it wasn't a panic attack, because I know with panic attacks, like,
that's different.
Impulsive. You can pass out, and
Yeah.
It's a lot. So
anxiety for me, I found anxiety for me was subconscious related a lot more so than my consciousness, because I feel like I felt good about myself a lot of times, but like subconsciously But I would have anxiety for work, you know. And like, we are very busy people,
Pressure,
like everybody,
man.
right? We're all over.
Are these thoughts
So-
we already have in our heads, like subconsciously?
Where do they come from? So here's the thing. I try to feel like anything that's coming my way, especially if it's repeating and showing up, like if it keeps showing up, then there's something that, like, what's the reflection? What's to learn? Like, that's kind of how I've seen almost anything in life. So it's like when I keep, oh, this is cycling. Oh, I learned, or did I step back from what I was like progressing through? So for anxiety, for me, is always like, oh, I have too much on my plate. So, or I haven't done something I need to do. And so sometimes anxiety is just a symptom of like, you need to go get this crap done, bro, and get it out of the way and stop pushing it over or choosing these other exciting things, you know, because we always prioritize, you know. Me is always like, gotta get this done, and then it's like, what's exciting? And it's like, there's some things over here, so I get anxious about them, you know. So anxiety is different for everyone. Breath, though, like you just said, and just centering yourself in like a thought process, like the belief system matters too. So if you know that you're safer, if you can say, well, 99% of the time I've been in this situation or feeling this way, I've come out of it really, you know, come out of it well. You know, or come out of it to learn something. So it's always like, that's kind of where I always try to get myself centered or grounded on, like, I've already been through, you know, I've been through some craziness. So it's like, okay, I can get through this, you know. And then for me, it's like faith-based, like trusting in God. Like, God's been with me for a long time. Like, I've been off the road where I could have been dead a couple of times, you know, in just certain situations. It's like, so I just trust in that, you know. And if not, it's like, when you play this little game, you like close your eyes and you talk to yourself. Well, then there's something higher than me, right? So I just play that game in my head, like, well, if not, I pray that my loved ones don't miss me and they understand, like, this is more than this. Yeah. So I kind of like, that allows me to live with less fear and move forward like love. I don't know where I was going with that.
I like that. Have you ever worked? You've worked in the
hospitality business. OG royalty.
Okay.
He worked with us.
You worked for the Italian man at one point.
Yeah.
You just had a lot on your plate, and then you said, you know, in certain businesses, I was like, oh.
And then you think about it before work.
Yeah. Because you said work, you said a lot of stress from work. I was like, has he worked in a restaurant? I'm like, that would bring you natural anxiety, like pressure, like
it's
just
that's
the
a
demand.
That's a different anxiety, a different pressure.
Oh yeah,
I
for sure.
experienced in different worlds that I worked into.
Different personalities of customers, of guests.
That one I could fall out real quick. Like, I would be like this super peachy person, or this super like, and then it'd be like, what person's gonna show up today? And that could have to do with what was going on outside of work. But in the business, when you run across so many people, it's scary. Because when you're like, if you're just like in a bad mood, you could just lose on the wrong person. It's like not the wrong person, on a good person or a kind person.
Yeah. You could have received something differently.
Yeah.
It's that energy. Yeah.
And we're all exchanging energies. I was about to say, it's that energy.
Energy.
I was big at like feeling other people, but not understanding that. And if I had just learned to just turn it down a little bit and like none of it, like take it less personal, I would have like thrived in the restaurants. And I did at times. Because it was just like I was just in such good vibration. It's like whatever, you know. Yeah. But at times when money, you know, I'll just say money just gets you in a sticky spot sometimes. Yeah. So get your mood off, get you all. Yeah. So in that business, does. So. But
what I've been trying to practice myself is having more emotional intelligence and more. I feel like I'm very self-aware, but I could tell myself has been irritable lately about just kind of like life and situations that I've been in. So I even told them, like, on the last pod, I was like, hey man, I know I've been kind of like just little conversations with me and KB, just we feel like we bump heads, but then when we're together in person, it's like totally different. But like through via text, that shit is not flying.
If the Eagles lose, forget about it.
Literally. Sports is not the motivation.
Thank you for bringing that up.
But just in general, like, because we've already been on a trip together. Like, I've tested relationships, all my relationships, friendships, people I deal with, I test all that. And like she does as well. So like I can tell we're testing each other sometimes, but it's just like, I don't know. When it comes to communication through a phone, that shit ain't flying.
It can mess you up sometimes.
But I could say that I had a conversation with my mother. I took her out for her birthday, and my parents are separated right now, and just I was kind of like having therapy with her because I was telling her like things that I felt affected on, and in my adult age, I'm 30, and I'm identifying things that I never was able to identify before, and just trying to kind of calm myself in the sense of like, what do I actually want in this moment for love life or friendship, or if I feel like I've been taken advantage of, or I've given too much to someone, a roommate or a friend. I put in so much and I don't receive that same love back. Like, what the fuck am I still here for? Like, why am I doing this? I don't care for anybody. I'd rather be alone at this point. I was feeling like weird. I've been in a weird space, but I've been able to kind of
self-identify.
things.
You'll get it back. You'll get it back. It's just
of
not,
course.
you're trying to give it to people, but it's just the wrong person
Yeah.
you're giving it to. You're giving it to people,
But like
you'll
you were
get
saying,
it back.
taking things personal.
Yeah.
I'm very.
It's not personal, man.
I'm big energy. I'm an Aries, so.
Well,
Aries.
Do you take it personal though?
But
you think you take it
I'm
personal?
defensive. I know I'm defensive. I can admit that I'm defensive.
I think
at
that's
times.
why we buck heads a lot,
You
because
know?
we're both defensive.
Yeah, I'm defensive, and I don't even live by the zodiac sign, but I'm an Aries Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Leo rising. So I know.
Nah, Manny just be right. You be wrong.
Understanding my houses, understanding
I'm
my.
messing with you. I'm messing
What
with you.
did he
How the
just
chords
say?
I'm messing with you.
What
Did
is
you
it?
hear
What is it?
him?
No, what is it?
He said, "Nah,
I
say
said-
what you said."
I said Manny just be right, and sometimes you just be wrong.
This guy.
I'm messing with
I'm not
you.
saying nothing
I'm
to that.
messing with you.
See, this is why I like. This is why I like when I have an additional female guest, because
You be
we-
feeling
holds
tag
down-
team?
she
But I
holds
didn't
it
say
down.
nothing.
She got no help
I'm
today.
I
staying
didn't say
neutral.
nothing,
Look
right?
at me.
I
I'm
promise you, I
neutral.
didn't mean it. It was a joke. It really
I'm
was.
neutral today.
I'm outnumbered.
But you're still
Can't
off
be
either
right.
way. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
She's right.
And
Like
you be bringing guests
90% of
that's
the time.
males.
Yeah. KB be right. She be right. I just be hating.
But she don't even deal with females, so she'd be fine. She don't like females.
It's not that I don't like females.
You don't
Like,
like females.
we don't like what people are like. Oh, I'm too shy to be on camera, and I'm this and I'm that. But all the guys are like, yes, I'd
open.
love to
Yeah.
come on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
can
try to
find you
give
some
everyone-
open females that would come on here. I
Sure,
know. I actually
absolutely.
thought of one earlier, like on the way over here. I was like, man, Valley would love to come over here and
From
talk
your
about-
community?
That's dope.
Yeah, she's cool. It's a cool young chick I met, and she's into like sharing, like into creating retro spaces. And I don't know. I don't even want to share her stuff. You know, maybe she'll
Okay.
come share with y'all.
No,
one
but
day.
you're just telling us
But yeah.
about her a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
little
Like
introduction.
she's cool, and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I should introduce them because it would like vibe. I don't know if she's gonna be here for long. She's looking for a van. She's like traveling and building stuff in different
see?
communities.
That's
So
dope.
So she's on the go.
yeah, but she's like she's a creator though, you know, and I think that everyone's creative in their own way, and so it's like cool. Like yeah, y'all would.
Now, what's
vibe,
this community?
Yeah.
Explain that to me. What's
I just have like met and engaged in a couple different communities, and it's
Okay.
like you just say community. It's like I have my own little community, and
Like-minded souls.
yeah, and then it's kind of just like grown and or like merged, and so
Is
we
it
have
like-minded people?
yeah, a lot of us are. So a lot of people in the community that I'm engaging in, that's what I say. It's like it's a label, you know. It's like but the people that I've been engaging with are like about creating, just like our own food and our own communities. Like buy 20 acres, you know,
20 acres?
20 family. Well, we're looking in. They're looking in different places
Yeah?
throughout.
You're trying to plan to buy 20 acres?
Yeah, like I already know some people doing that, and they want to do it
Cool.
here in Florida.
In Florida?
and North Carolina. You have to go north because you can still get
Yeah,
land.
I was like,
and-
this shit is expensive.
Yeah. But if you do, here's the thing. That's another thing is like you just engage in the trust in that, you know, and you can get away with a couple acres and have six,
course.
7 families on
Of
it. I've been
course.
in a space that was like that already. So like but basically is to create where a little more sustainable living, and not like using so much, you know, and
Your
So
energy
you're trying
sources.
to-
What would your energy sources be? And
You're trying to minimalize. Is
and not
that
necessarily
it?
I don't think it's about minimalizing. I think it's more about alignment.
Okay.
And so like a lot of us, I feel, and that's I can say from my perspective, we're just out of alignment like human beings with our nature, our natural source, like
Talk
with
to
Mother
'em.
Nature. So it's like just trying to get in alignment would be probably the best way of saying it. A lot of people are trying to figure out what that is and doing it, you know, and also along the way, like just create, like there's a huge music community, and it's unique, man. I mean, I could go in forever because I've just met so many different people that are practicing and doing different things and sharing that. You
But
know?
understanding all that is language. Music is language.
Yeah, it's
You know,
beautiful.
being in that space is language. So that's dope.
I mean,
That's dope.
we've definitely made some like way with some people like showing their creativity or just blossoming in those little spaces. So in the community, I'm like, we'll chill with the people by the fire, we'll like late night music, and then the other thing I always bring into the community is I do ice baths, which
We have
is
to
where
make sure we play some of these graphics while he's
you
talking.
dump into like your body into an ice bath and you practice your breath, and we do breath work before. And so that's like in my community, that's one of the things that I started to contribute. So that's the other thing about the community is like, okay, well, what can you contribute?
Wow.
Sometimes it's your time, it's your organization skills, it's your contacts, it's a goods, it's a service. And so that's the other thing in the community is just and that's what my vision is like where we overlap and works on like do things together. So like if one of y'all lived in the community, you would like, and you were passionate about this, well, you would just like share everyone's stuff, like you were talking about someone else earlier, like that would be one of your contributions. The other thing is not to work the 9 to 5 or to work 12 hours a day.
Talk to me.
So like we have 24. You got
I ain't trying to clock in 2022.
You sleep 6 to 8, right? So then you take away the 6, you're still down to 18 hours, right? And then you go work for someone for 8. You got lunch in the middle of it, and you got drive time.
Sleep.
You're down.
Lunch. Who get lunch?
Well, that's
working
what
for the time,
so,
man. You working and eating.
So
at
then
the
you
same
add in your errands, and that's the other thing is
cool.
the errands, and we go eat so much too. Is like that's the other thing is getting aligned with what we need to eat and eating that. You know,
eating to live or living to eat.
Yeah, or work to live or the work. So it's like those concepts is getting into that space where it's in alignment. So shifting a lot of those would be one of those. You know, that's kind of like the community. At least in my like when I think of my community, and I say mine, but the community I want to help build. That's what's up.
You guys grow your own food too, right?
Doing some of that definitely on the farm. I live with a couple, another couple in their family, and we have a couple gardens. We have
that's dope. I'm trying to do my garden now.
We got like
I'm trying to do a garden now. Listen, we got a
I
tub.
like that. Yeah,
I have
I
sprouted
cook.
stuff, and if you have land where you can plant trees, I have some stuff rooted. Like
what's good to plant? That's like gonna be fruitful like soon.
Oh, see, soon.
Well,
season.
nothing is soon, but you know.
I'm like,
then you're looking at like seasonal like veggies and potatoes and stuff like that. If you want something long, see for me, I think like long term for me because I'm like the kids and the legacy thing right now. It's like, so like I have trees and pots that I want to grow and put places or on a farm. Some of them I want to grow in the place I'm in now. So. But we have a variety. We have dragon fruit. I want to grow jackfruit because I think jackfruit is a
big,
huge sustainability. And the next thing I'm really interested in, we're not doing it there, is hemp farming.
I was about to say, what about marijuana?
Yeah, well, hemp is an opportunity into that. But like even so, just the hemp plant itself, you can live off of it.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. I was like, we have this toilet paper plant. I have a cassava root, whatever it's called, but I'm trying to grow things that you can live off of. Like if crap hits the fan, it's like, well, we don't really have to just we don't have to rely on the grocery store. It'll get sparse, it'll get like but we'll be good, you know.
I saw like the first American flag was like sewn with like hemp.
Oh yeah.
No, real talk.
The parachutes.
That's
I saw
educational. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Humboldt. Like there's still there's sacks around. My dad has a couple of hemp sacks, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah. I definitely want my own garden as a chef. Like I want a full garden in my yard, like everything.
What do you guys call cassava in back home in DR? Is it yuca?
Yuca is based because I think it's a root. It's still a root, and then you're boiling it, and then you take the skins off.
Yes.
So.
It's really good though.
Oh, it's so good. It depends. I mean, I haven't had mine yet. I have it just grown all over.
The Haymans don't.
They don't have
yuca.
Yeah, that's what we call it. We call it cassava.
Yeah,
but
yuca's its other term.
Being around Eddie, and he's vegan and vegetarian.
Yeah,
he told me you guys call it yuca. That's why I asked. I was like, what do you guys call it again?
Yeah, it's cassava flour is what so that you could take one.
In the Bahamas, that's what we call it, cassava.
Now, did y'all use the flour in the Bahamas like to make breads and stuff?
Yes, we do.
They just say like one plant can last you provide for a family, right? So like you can grow one plant to provide.
Yes.
Do y'all make breads?
No, that's what I was getting in. Like the community is like, well, who wants to farm? Who wants to produce? Who wants to process?
So everyone has a job.
Yeah, like you have opportunities to have roles, and it's like if that doesn't work for you, or you want to learn these roles, we can like move through them. And some people will be permanent, some people will be.
Will I get kicked out if I don't know how to like do any of that?
No, because that'd be the whole other opposite. Like the opportunity is like for people just to come learn, and so they can go do this on their own. So that's like the long-term plans, people could travel and be there for 2 months, a month, just to learn and then go on their own. Because it's like,
but it's about contributing, like he said. He's like, it's not like regulated where it's like you got to do this and
but you work 3 or 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, and then you have 4 hours. You have the rest of the day for yourself.
So not 8 like corporate America has us doing.
Because that would be like you work for half of the day. You work to pay for your gas and tolls, and see what I'm saying. Like some of it just simplifies once you say, hey, I'm gonna park here for a while. and not travel and not go back and forth, you know. Or,
modern day slavery, 8 hours. Fuck out.
Yeah, we could get in that topic. I'll be sure. I mean, I talk conspiracy. Like, I don't say conspiracy, but I do talk about.
Talk about it.
It is what it is.
Well,
talk about
we
it.
We live in a system that's designed to keep us in a rat in a cycle.
Say it slow for him. Say it slow for him. Run it back. Run it back.
We live in a system that's designed to keep us in a cycle, in a rat race.
Makes you put some noise in the background.
So to beat the rat race, there's like more than one way. But for me, it was like, I don't even need to beat the rat race. I got to get out for my own well-being.
Yes.
But it's clear it's clear at the, you know, people work their whole life just to get to the end to have like 10 years, and now some of them can't even go nowhere or do anything because they got no money or they can't afford it, right? So it's like, it's just clear. And I tell my mom sometimes, like, come on, like, I love you, thank you, but I got to break the system. I can't live in this matrix like this. I can't die in this. I don't
live in the matrix.
Yeah, it's
little shots of movies. That shit is real. I believe in that shit. Matrix. Have you seen that movie? The Rat Race movie back in like 1998 or 2000. Rat Race with Cuban Gooding Jr. Look it up.
You never seen it?
Message what he just said. That's what that movie was about. Not the $1 million that they were trying to win. The whole journey. Look it up. Rat Race.
Fresh be dropping gems.
Listen. He's dropping gems.
I think everything is like that because I look at Instagram too, and I'm like, the whole thing about social media, like, everyone tries to be like they're better than everyone. Like, when you post
it's a facade.
when you're out, and I slowed down on it after like 2017, 2018. Like, when you're out, you try to show things. Are you doing it to just show it off, or you're doing it to say, well, I'm this place and you're not this place?
That's it.
Like, even when you show your dinner plates, people show plates and you're like, that's not it. And you show your plate that you're eating, you're like, this is like 5 stars.
Yeah, but then recording a plate that you have to edit, make it make sense.
Who got to edit?
Not everyone thinks that though.
That's what I'm saying.
Taking pictures and then editing the picture.
I don't gotta edit my plates. No. I got big lobsters.
That's right.
I was saying, if you look at her post while you're on your lunch break, you're gonna be sad.
Getting hungry.
Because she's like big eating.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
she snacks. She don't big eat. She snack. She always.
I'm big eating. I'm big.
She
eating.
always eating.
I'm big eating.
Go to dinner with her.
I'm big eating.
You ordering half of a menu. Nah, but I get what you're saying.
What was social media created for? Because it's like everyone is trying to be like, I'm above, I'm here, and you're there, and I'm like, this is crazy.
It's not even about being your best self anymore. It's about competing with each other, and that's not what it's supposed to be.
They were working us towards the metaverse, which they just created. That's what it was all about, guys. No, I'm just teasing. That's just someone you could research into that a little bit.
Yeah,
that just came up.
Etymology,
that just came up about buying land.
That's real.
Ready Player One. Have you ever seen that movie? Yeah. And like, could you imagine that's where more people were like more important to like hook on and put some visual stuff on than to like sit at this table and it to be clean and actually have a nice place for our bodies and our beings to be in. Like, anyways, meta equals death.
Like
that's
out east, I want to say like in Asia, China, like that area, like they have like the social score and everything. Like that's slowly creeping into what we're doing now.
Think about the did you guys see Squid Games?
Yeah, I didn't see that, but dude, they had Squid Game stuff on my son's middle school walls. They were they were using it for like exemplary stuff. And I was like, I told the principal, I'm like, maybe that's like Minecraft Squid Games, but I don't want my kid like anything affiliated with it if you start to research it. Yeah. Because that really is like almost
it's like survival mode for each player survival mode.
Dude, that's some like, Nazi stuff. There's experiments in Nazi Germany that are ancient, like old school, that you can see, and they're actually implying this using this psychology.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So they should not, things like that should not be popular for youth.
Look at
like, Netflix need to have more parental like control.
We lost that when we went to these. I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the lines, it passed bills or
Disney Channel, Disney Plus, Netflix is just all open. YouTube. What are kids watching? I watch my girl's kids just looking at YouTube for hours.
Crazy stuff.
I don't get it. They're watching other kids play.
Your parents would
go outside.
Manny, turn that off. Go outside.
Watching people getting paid to play.
I was just about to say something because you said something. You
keep it on the tongue.
I know. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
And if not, we just edit it.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is what I wanted to say. Like, the 13 Reasons Why. like all of those that become viral, like, and then your kids are young and then they become impressionable. Like, look at the kid the other day that got kidnapped, and when she got kidnapped, this guy took her across state lines that she met on the internet. She's probably like 11 or 12 years old. And I'm like, when she met the guy, he had on like a cartoon figure outfit. I'm like, what?
That's sick.
Like, how do you... I understand, like, you have to protect your kids and you have to watch them, but to control everything, it's best to not let them have access
what's the best
to
approach?
everything. You can't let them
No
have access.
social media.
Yeah, you can't
No
let them have access.
Kids are 6 and they got iPads and phones. What for what? They just doing TikToks in your bathroom and living room. For what?
It's true. I can attest because my children have had electronics and it's like been so challenging. And to balance it and to be like, well, so right now it's like they're gonna. So the only difference between electronics and the TV that I grew up with is just like the space between you and it, possibly the energy that's going through the device. But other than that, it's like I did spend time watching TV too, and I still do to this day. And sometimes it's informative, but it's like trying to teach them this in this day and age. Like, I don't know, like. My son doesn't do a lot of social media, but it found out that he was, and it was like, oh, look what he posted. And then my ex-wife.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I was kind of sad, but then I was like, let me ask him about it. And he's like, oh, I just did it for a reaction. And he's like, if you follow the rest of the story.
Was he on his bike?
Nah, he like cut himself. His friend burned him with a glue gun, and then he like made it bleed, and then he said some like negative stuff, like I don't like myself. And he like posted on Snapchat, right? So like looking for, and it's like for attention, and that's what's like, we have to get to the root of that. But in some people's circle, they're like, just delete that and get out of there. I'm like, well, but he's gonna get on there at some point.
You have to address it.
So I'm like, I'd rather leave him on there, and whoever's watching him, tell him to keep watching it for me, please.
Yeah.
But it's that's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. None of it's good. That's but he can sign up for it on his own. He has the phone, so he's finding, because the approve, like to get your account approved goes to your phone. So it's like, so I don't know, like so in this one I like let it slide. I was like, you can have it, but I'm gonna keep like trying to monitor. But yeah, it's challenging, man. And the programming is deep, man.
It is very deep.
Are there a lot of kids in your community?
So many, man. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the TikTok.
You can be programmed. I'm 29
Discord.
right now. I can be programmed. So imagine a kid that's
they're malleable though. Like we have like already a programmed set of beliefs at some point in age, and it's like these people are still malleable. Like you can that's how these, not to get into another, but creeps, pedophiles, human trafficking. That's how they mold these children, and they already know like psychologically, if they're like preying on them, they already know testers to see if that kid's susceptible to their like advances and crap, dude. Like it's a whole creepy psychology. So yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know where what direction.
I don't even want to talk about that.
But we have my kid
crazy.
Being aware, and like nobody's supposed to like put, that's the saying. For me, they're gonna experience stuff, and every kid's it's gonna hit them differently depending on where they're coming from. But it's like staying in touch with your kids, staying in tune with them, and letting them know I love them and I'm here for them. That's like.
Have you taught your kids self-discipline?
Some self-discipline, some self-defense. We did like taekwondo for like 2.5 years.
Yep. Stranger danger.
Yeah.
There you go.
Step back.
There you go.
I wouldn't want to get kicked or punched by my little one. She's small, but man, she's strong.
Yeah, I'm teaching my
like,
kids.
Wow, wow, wow. Like she'll go off like 10 punches before you're like, ah.
Yeah. So I'm teaching my kids young.
But yeah, it's again, you move forward with faith, and I try to believe in. I follow the path that we like. Bring in things in our life, so it's like I'm not welcoming any of that crap into my life.
Right.
I'm only welcoming it flew out. It went out.
So you don't fight with bugs.
We should minimize our programs. That's what I call them. They're programs. They're programming. And it's like it's all like stories teach. Your mind is most susceptible to stories. So those stories, just be mindful. They might be teaching you patterns. Sometimes that you're not. That's where like
That's where the algorithms come in.
Yeah.
So we get out of control
Facts.
though, like So.
But you see with Barry,
it's a study of watching
he tries
us.
to control everything. Do you see that?
Right. But see, it depends on your mind. I don't know how our mind. I'm not studied on it, but depends on how our mind receives it. When I'm watching stuff, I just try to stay aware. Like I don't just watch it like, oh, this is fun. It's like, what's going on? Okay, and I have the entertainment part of it, but then there's this consciousness of like,
Yeah.
What else
What's
is going
the
on
real
here?
message in
Yeah,
here?
what else is going on? You know?
Do y'all tell the kids in the community this? Like, hey, this is cool, but
Oh yeah, we
really
talk about
shouldn't- Word?
certain
That's good.
shows. We just like cut off, like, you shouldn't watch this because
Like,
What
what
is
shows?
one show? What
well,
is
one of the biggest
show?
things they're teaching the children this, and I hope no one ever takes this the wrong way. They're breaking down the family, like the structure of a male and female family,
Yes.
and having how we create human beings, like through procreation, and they're essentially kind of like feminizing men and masculinizing women, and just really confusing. And then if you start to look back and see it generationally, you can see how they've kind of been going at this for a little bit at a time. But now it's like, well, I was born this way. We're being born this way because it's a symptom of our times, and that's to say no individual personally should like be persecuted or feel bad about what I'm saying. But in my bigger perspective, they've been doing this to us.
Is it an agenda? Is
Yes.
their thing?
So yeah, it's Luciferian. It's a cult. It depends if you're biblical, but it's the devil like doing his little unisex thing where I don't have to have this, and I don't know. It goes on. It gets into
It's
it.
everywhere though.
Yeah.
I watch my soap operas. I'm like,
It's
and then
see stuff.
I watch shows, and then the Netflix shows and stuff that come on, they go viral, and then everyone's watching it.
There's a show called Lucifer,
I'm
Yeah.
like, why is this trending? And I'm looking
Lucifer,
at it.
Euphoria.
That's one of my shows. I love Lucifer.
and the show's so good.
It's so good.
It's
And
so
I'm looking
It has.
at it.
You see
and I'm-
what we're attracted to,
Yes.
though, too. See.
And I'm looking at the show, and I'm like, this thing is everywhere. Like, are they trying to force this on us? Like, it's everywhere.
There definitely are. I mean, in the music industry, with all this stuff with the Travis Scott, and then did y'all talk about that at all?
That
here?
was bananas.
That was just
bro.
a whole ritual.
That
We
was
didn't
really-
get into it.
that
We didn't
was-
get
Yeah,
into
we didn't break it
I
down
don't
the
know.
way it should be because
That-
we
And
not
then-
trying to get canceled.
But before, yeah, and then before that, well, just say whatever's going on in the music industry looks pretty dark when
The
you take a
correlation
cross
was
and
too
you flip
close.
it upside down,
It
and
was
then
too close.
Yeah.
one video I saw. Anyways, one video I just saw was like
Talk about it.
he's staring at this person, like looks like she's dying, and he's like, yeah, like whatever his lyric was, and he's just like, and she's like it's just someone's stealing her soul.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, but if you start to go back into time and research, we have 6,000 years of written history, and we've been here for 200,000 possibly. So there's a lot of stuff we
Right.
don't know, and I think a lot of this goes back to well beyond thousands of years ago. Like there's been a thing going on since maybe it
I
was
pay attention to
yeah.
music videos for that reason because they're getting the
Little Nas
information.
X.
Yeah, they're
He's
getting
like
it.
riding the devil's, on his
They're
lap.
getting it from something. Someone. It's not just like, oh, I want to be creative. Like they're doing research
Yeah.
to get a message across.
Well, our generation music videos, like MTV came out when I was a child. That was a huge aspect of opportunity to
Yep,
program you
MTV,
because it's like
VMA,
subliminals.
Rap
I
City,
loved them.
Rap City, Rap
Yep.
Basement,
We grew up on
It's the
them.
only time you can see videos is after
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Turn
I
on
loved
real
it.
quick and just watch
Top
it.
10.
And your top 10. Yup.
There was also the free channel that would pop videos up, and you
In
could
New
donate.
York,
you could
it
vote.
was
You could like
Video
vote them in.
Music Box with
Yeah, VMB.
VJ Ralph McDaniels, and he played all like the Wu Tangs and like all the
Damn,
like,
you old.
Yeah, I know. You're like Don Cheadle. Damn.
Okay, Kevin
It's
Hart.
okay, right? Okay, Kev. Shit. Okay, Kev. But that's
No,
all,
I just want to do that for
Wait,
a joke.
that's
I
all
just-
good.
Wait,
That's all good.
That's
I
my
love
dog.
it.
I don't care.
I just watched his interview last night on the
Yeah,
Breakfast
so
Club.
it's even funnier now.
And no, he was saying that it was not scripted. Like he actually said that in the moment to Don
Hey,
Cheadle. And him and Don Cheadle were close, but when he said that, he was like, yo, it was a real moment when I said, damn, because even though we're friends, I didn't know he was that age. And I'm like, yo, that makes it even
That shit
more
was on the,
funnier.
yes, because he's like,
It was authentic.
It was
very
authentic.
authentic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't like take back and record something. It's like that live stuff is.
yeah, I'm a walking, what do we call it? A
Ad-lib.
walking, ad-lib, yeah.
Gold
Soundbite.
mine.
Soundbite.
That's crazy, though. Damn. And then Don Cheadle looked at him like,
Right, he was like, damn, bro, that's how you
and
feel.
they asked him if he felt awkward about it. He said, no, I ain't feel awkward because I'm not old. He's old.
Right.
I still feel like Manny's dam was better than Kevin's. That's right.
You
I
gotta
said
gas-
it.
You got gas.
I said it.
I
No,
appreciate
Manny
it.
knows, but listen.
Manny's dam was better.
But listen, Manny knows how old you are. Like Kevin is like he didn't know Don
Yeah, he
Cheadle
really
was
didn't
that
know.
old. That's crazy. That's why
Yeah, that's why it's funny. Yeah.
Cause listen, Manny keeps doing it to you. He gonna keep doing it to you. It's gonna roll over to the end of
Because
time.
it fucks me up because whatever episode we talk, always the relationship episode.
Yes.
It's the first time I've known him for at least 2-3 years now. I've never known his age.
Longer than that. This is the fantasy barbecue.
There you
at
go.
Brian's house.
Okay, so 5+. Because that's crazy. Time is flying. I didn't even know it was that long. But for me to learn on the pod his age.
I talked about the first concert I ever went to, and I saw the original.
And I did the math.
The original cast of Destiny Child.
I was like, but how old are you?
And Manny was just sitting there like.
I was like, you have to be like 30+. I know exactly what you're speaking about.
I was like, yeah, they sang No, 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 No. And Maya came out and sang Ghetto Superstar. And Manny was just like, damn. I was like, all right, I'm going to stop talking now.
Take
but
yourself,
that's dope,
bro, with that one.
Hey, but yeah, I mean, speaking on age, I don't let it define anybody, to be honest. Like, there's people that look 12 that look 40, and there's people that 40 look 12. So
Yeah.
And there's people 40 that look 80. No, I'm teasing.
no, but it's
It's
just
all good.
how you take care of your body, man.
Yeah. Well, that's something I could
Looking at
say.
your body.
Like, it's very, it's you know, it's no perfect process, but it's definitely critical for.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's critical for your longevity. It's up to you. Now, that's the thing of it is, man, we don't promise like either like tomorrow too. So it's like there's a balance to it all. You know, it's like you don't want to kill yourself over being healthy because then you're not here.
Yeah.
You know, so
We
it's
got to
just,
be present. We
Yeah.
got to be present.
But
You told
I-
me that the other day.
the more alignment we get, the present's a gift, man. Like the future could be and the past was, but the present right here is really it. You know, it's like the only thing you're really guaranteed. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
transitioning to. What is your take on health, like overall? It doesn't have to be just mental, but like the physical and your overall body. What is your practice that you give your kids? What
what should we be doing?
What is there something that you follow?
Thinking about
or what
every
you can
day.
give to other people?
If I
the
were
basics,
like someone starting out, more water, because hydration. Like I was sharing with him, I had a back injury not too long ago. I'm just really getting like out where I'm 100%. So hydration's key, but most of us are
What
dehydrated.
kind of water?
Well, that's the challenge. I don't have a great answer because I haven't really experienced what's perfect. But there's
you
distilled
drink
water.
from a natural spring.
Yeah, distilled natural or like that added like pH stuff, you know, but that's
Yeah.
just like they added baking soda in it, you know. So I was doing distilled for a while, but now I just try to get spring water. But I do mix it up, and then I drink a lot of coconut water because it's just water mixed with
Fresh.
electrolytes.
Yeah.
Like
you said it was
one of these-
Gatorade.
Yeah, it's the Gatorade of
Yeah, coconut
like,
water
yeah,
is life. Coconut and aloe water.
aloe water
I
will
just found
clean
out
you
today.
out too.
Yes.
So those are like
Digest-
hydration, like greens. Like if we could reverse something that we do as eating would be to like take meat where it's like the spectacle of your plate and make it more like kind of like a topping or a side, and then put the greens and the vegetables and the fruits down, and that's not for everybody, but and then some grains, and then like have meat with it, because we're top heavy. We eat all this protein, which is, if you follow, I forget the doctor.
Sebi?
Dr. Sebi.
No, it's not CV,
Zabi
but it's
Sebi?
another doctor, and he goes on. There's no protein that didn't start from a plant.
That's so true.
So all meat is secondary protein, and the other parts of that is like the digestive process. Like you eat 9 grams of protein, right? And at the end, it turns into amino acids, which is a whole other like experience. But it has to process it. But your body, the meat, it takes 4 hours for like red meat to process. So
Whoa,
by the time
it takes
you
4 hours.
by the
to
time
do
you
that?
yeah.
so then you're hungry, and that's why we're always like, I don't know, for me, I was always hungry, always looking for more, and there was never enough of it. And I found out I was addicted to sugar, addicted to I love caffeine, and
Yeah, because
I like carbs at sometimes. I like carbs at night.
Yeah,
Dairy too.
there's a term for that of it supplements the hunger of your digestive from the meat, from the protein that your body breaking down. So that sugar, it's like it's your booster. It's a
Yeah.
booster that makes
Like
you
a dopamine?
kind of, but
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
a term for it?
subside. It's a subside when you're missing that proper protein and nutrients for your body. You having sugar, you having all that. That's why it gives you exerts of energy, but then you actually crash harder.
That's the huge part though, sugar. If there was one thing that like someone said, how could I help myself? If you just reduced your sugar like to 10% of what you're taking in, you would see drastic
10%?
changes. Yeah, but it's not that hard. That's what I mean. Because natural sugars I don't count. So it's just like get away from cane sugar, basically, and you can use
I thought
it.
cane was good for you. Like,
It's much
like
better-
sugar cane?
Sugar cane's much better than processed white
pure-
refined sugar. anything that's
From the
whitewashed, but not to joke about it, but almost anything that's whitened or whited is not so good for you.
Because sugar's supposed to
Unless
look
it's
brown.
not, unless it's natural, man. You want natural colors, natural things. That's where we've gotten away from. We're super synthetic, we're less natural.
So would you rather brown over white sugar?
Yes,
Okay.
because that's natural. You know what I mean? Like if it's whitened, it's got to been bleached or processed or refined or something.
Like rice.
Yeah, I
I
know
got
white
nothing
is
but brown
bleach.
sugar.
Yeah, white
Yeah.
is bleach.
Brown sugar.
Huh?
Brown sugar.
Yeah, I got it in
Fresh
my house.
maple.
Yeah.
Fresh honey.
I have a coconut brown sugar inside my house. Yeah.
I use that that's fairly good.
I got it from I saw a guy on Instagram. He posted like eating cereal, like organic cereal and stuff like that, and I was like, wow. And I saw him use the sugar in the organic milk, and I was like, I should try this. Milk was trash. I didn't like the milk, maybe because I'm just used to like vitamin D. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm trying.
Milk's a
What milk do you
challenge.
drink?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
what milk do you
started-
drink?
I'm sick.
Vitamin D.
You like used to whole milk, like
'Cause
whole
once you,
milk.
I use almond-
once you get
almond
away
milk.
from
No,
whole
it-
milk, it tastes really
I was a whole milk
different.
drinker. That's
Oh yeah, I've never.
I tried almond milk. I
Almond
don't
milk,
like
silk
it.
milk, oat
I
milk,
tried silk milk.
silk
No.
oat.
oat is the closest, but there's also different ones to try. But like oat for me is the closest, or like macadamia milk.
How's that still
But they got to
milk,
be
though?
vanilla. Comes from
I've
comes from
always
oats.
thought about that.
It
How's that still
does.
milk?
I
What
know something
defines
that makes
what
fresh
defines milk?
almond and oat milk.
Yeah.
Milk comes out of like a cow, right?
Yeah.
But they take the oats and make this milk out of it.
They
So
do.
it's a
She
non-dairy
puts it
milk.
in like a netting and like beats it and it makes its own.
That would
and
be-
it's
Have you
added with
guys-
water.
Have
natural.
you ever heard of almond butter?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
delicious.
Almond
Oh,
butter?
I
It's
Shit's
say-
really good.
fire.
Yeah, it's almond butter. It's
Yeah?
really good. Yeah.
The only thing
Yes.
is it gets dry. It's like dried out sometimes, so you got to figure out where you get it from because it just gets real grainy sometimes.
But
yeah.
it's so good. Almond butter.
It's got like if you look at the benefits like side by side, peanut butter and almond. There's like it's not bad just to have peanut butter, you know, but like almonds brings you so much more in certain ways.
When you shop for your groceries to eat better, where do you shop at?
Yep.
All over,
Good
because you
question.
have
That's a
to
great
like
question.
that would be the other thing is like just learn to read labels. So once you start to read labels, if you're it's like this part of yourself where you're like, well, I'll just put that one in there this time, you know, and it's like. But I just started reading labels, so now I travel around. I'll go down to Sprouts in like south of here, you know, like Miramar,
Okay.
and get go to Sprouts, Whole Foods, Publix, because Publix is convenient for me. But I order those food, like a lot of the food
But it's so
I eat it.
expensive, man. And I'm from up north, so I'm used to. And back we from the islands, like we were used to like going to a bodega. We used to go into on the street, like a farmer's coming selling you all the veggies for like $1,
Yeah.
pound for
Yeah.
$1.
You were getting a
You
lot.
go to Publix, and I cook, so I use Publix for my produce. But it's like, damn, dog, like it's a lot of money for this
Yeah.
produce.
They're whacking us over the head right now. Like,
Yeah.
well, we've seen just in this last like 6 months, we've seen a 25% increase in
Crazy.
food costs. So
If you have a crop, it's different
Crazy.
though, huh?
Well, that's-
it's different if you have a crop.
that's why you want to also try to grow stuff. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
start
what I'm
it-
saying, like
yeah.
a
Oh, I
crop,
grow my
stuff.
herbs now. I have like
That's
you
the
know,
one way to save good money too, because you
grow
can
my
do
herbs.
$5 for a little time, and it's like, wait, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't grown in a pot over there.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
how often do like for 7 days? How often do you eat meat compared to like eating greens to
you
like
eat
kind of
meat?
balance it out?
I
Yeah,
eat
he said
meat
he started
now.
to now.
Like I just because I went to I didn't for a while, but yeah, I do now. Well, we just in the holidays, so it's hard to compare because it
Okay.
was like, here's some turkey.
What's your favorite meat? Like, what is something
Pause.
that you cannot get rid of? I mean, I'm
Sorry,
a
I was
girl.
being-
like,
I was being
that's
immature.
crazy.
But
no,
dude,
but I'm asking him now that he has
So,
adjusted his
He
diet.
had to change.
That's hard. I don't really have a favorite anymore.
Let me rephrase that. Since you adjusted your diet,
There you go.
like, what is your favorite protein to
Protein.
eat now?
The hard thing to pass on is probably like ribs, just because my
I was
brother
about
has
to ask you
a rib
ribs.
company.
Barbecue
and,
ribs?
Yeah, and so it'd be hard to
Oh,
pass
he
on
a-
that.
Especially in
Rib truck?
Gainesville too.
Yeah.
In Gainesville.
Oh, he's up north.
Yeah, Gainesville.
Damn.
So he crashes
I take a
them,
trip.
and
A
they're
rib
really
man?
good. Yeah. Well, I haven't had them in a while. That's to say. So that was hard to pass up. But I probably like turkey's probably like my favorite.
Oh,
thing.
really? Okay.
I don't know. Like I
Really?
just don't have a relationship
it's
with meat
dry.
anymore. Well, if it's smoked, it's usually soft.
Okay.
Yeah, turkey like out of the baked oven. But if you
Okay.
fry turkey, oh man, I used to fry
Deep
it.
fry.
We used to spicy
Ooh-wee.
Cajun fry
Jerk
it.
turkey.
The skin was like you just wanted to eat the skin. Like
Bruh, KB brought me, bruh, KB, shout out to KB. Everybody was jealous at work. She walked in and literally, because you know I worked for holidays. This first year I ever done that. That's why I say, fuck the 9 to 5. I'm never doing that shit again. Ever. I forgot the airport is 24/7 because they was like, "Oh, what you working tomorrow?" I was like, "Word, who's working tomorrow?"
We're
They were
not
like,
closed, sir.
You work, sir. What time? I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" So I asked everybody bring me plates. Not everyone came through, but KB brought me plates. Like I said, a plate. She brought me plates. She had like protein, sides. She had a dessert thing. Then she had like an extra plate for that leftover.
You know how Caribbean women do it. You know what
What?
I'm saying?
Great.
And she just in and out. Just I didn't get to see her, but she dropped it off at my job.
They said you
My
was
other
busy,
job.
bro. I dropped that
Yeah, I
thing
was
off.
busy.
They said you was busy.
But
I
you
was-
I
had
spoke to
Thanksgiving
Artie.
dinner. Though.
Yeah,
That's
thanks to
beautiful.
KB and thanks to a
I
couple other
said I was
friends.
gonna
I
get
saw
you
that
bread.
text and I looked at the little itty bitty piece of like cornbread left on my counter. I was like, Manny, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, bro. Hit you up.
ate
Go ahead.
everything.
Set me up.
Wait, let me
boy.
tell you something. This is
Shout
what
out
I
to
did.
Artie and Theo. Made sure I had
That's
some.
what's up. Let me tell you what I did.
Nice.
I don't listen. I don't care who was coming to Thanksgiving dinner.
Uh-huh.
I know my auntie asked me to bring the stuff to make the yams and the stuff to make the macaroni. So what I did, I took it there Sunday, right? So she could prepare it Wednesday for Thursday, right? See,
okay.
because you know we pre-season our meat and stuff. Like we
Right,
clean and
right.
pre-season it in the islands,
Yes.
right? So when I got to her house, 2:00, I made sure I don't give a fuck who didn't eat. I started taking up my takeaway plates.
Damn, before you actually ate your own plate?
I started doing takeaway plates. I was like, whoever come in here.
can't.
So when people started coming to get food, I was like, I don't care who don't eat. I got my takeaway plates.
Already good.
And they hiding.
Yeah, you already put that to
I
the side.
already took your plate
solidified that.
aside. I already took me and my sister's plate aside.
Okay.
And I was eating. I was like, who don't eat? I got my food there on the side. So who don't eat, that's their business.
Island girl.
Should have came earlier.
Island girl. She looked out for the homie. She looked
did.
out. She
She
made
did.
sure she looked out for
She
Manny.
did. She did. But go back to health, man. Go back to health.
ahead.
No,
So you guys
But-
barely eat meat, or do you guys?
just less meat.
But
like,
you can't get rid of the ribs because you love
I
ribs.
did. I don't. That's the thing.
No, he
I
said he couldn't.
If
He
it's just
did.
something I would. That's like probably my favorite to eat, but I don't
That's-
eat it
And
much
turkey.
though.
For me,
Yeah.
I could do the ribs. Like that's a pork. Like I could do the ribs, but like you know how other people make fried pork and stuff like that. I can't do
I
the
don't
fried
really care.
pork.
Yeah, I don't
It's
care
too
for
much.
pork that much.
It's fat on the fried pork.
Like,
and
you know how
like-
people love bacon on
Yeah.
this? Mm-mm.
Bacon's hard to pass up, man. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
smells good.
It
and
smells so
depending
good.
on how it's cooked. It just, I don't know.
You
I
like
don't.
it?
I went over a
You
year
like it
without
crispy?
it though.
How do you like it?
Ooh,
How do I
Like
like my
here?
bacon?
Crispy?
Wow.
How do you like it?
It depends
To
what
be
we
edible
making.
for you. To be edible
Just
for
to
you.
eat bacon,
Let's
like a
just
plate
say
of
you
bacon?
eating some in the islands now, because you know grits in America is different. Let's just say you eating
that's
some
sick.
grits.
Well, if I mean some,
Bacon
some,
and-
grits, some eggs,
cornmeal.
some
Back in the
bacon.
islands, it's cornmeal.
Yes.
Yeah. So eating some
Shit.
cornmeal.
I do
my
not
shit.
eat. I do
You-
not eat yellow grits. I hate that shit.
Really?
I hate it.
Yellow and brown.
I like the brown
Smooth,
one
with the
better.
gravy.
I like the brown one
Ooh.
better.
You
I
gotta
like the
eat it.
brown
You
one
gotta eat
better.
it.
With some
gotta eat it.
scallions and
Yes,
some broken
yes.
That's what
bacon
I'm saying.
bits.
That's what bacon,
Come
and then you get some
on.
I
eggs
like
in
the
there,
brown
too.
one
That's how I
better.
learned to
Yeah.
eat grits
I
with
can't do
eggs
the
and bacon in
cornmeal.
it.
That's it.
That's how my
I don't
mom
need a lot.
got me to eat grits the first time. Was butter, eggs,
I don't
bacon.
need a
You
lot.
gotta
Mix it
mask
in.
it.
Mix it in,
You
and
know,
the
shit like
bacon
that
flavor.
is a classic dish.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Do
like
you-
eating rice. Can you eat a bowl of rice as a meal? You crazy.
No, can't
From
do
the
it.
islands, yes.
Where the
With
meat
some
at?
rice and
There's
peas.
no
You
sauce?
need
Some
no
beans.
meat.
Yeah.
I just need beans.
I
Just
don't
some
eat.
beans.
I don't eat beans.
No
I don't eat
onions?
peas. Peas and rice. My mom cooks it, but she's like, "You the
You
only
pick 'em
one
out?
that don't like it. I'm not gonna."
So you
be
need
worried
some
about
kind
you.
of- you need
I gotta
some
pick
kind
it
of
out.
protein with
I
it.
just pick it out.
You eat
Wow.
lentils?
I just pick the clean.
Lentils?
Or chickpeas?
Sure, none of that.
Those are
It's
all
asleep. Chickpeas are fire.
The only one I eat
Chickpea
is
curry
you know,
with some roti?
you know how the Americans make the pork and beans? That's the only one I eat because it's sweet.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's
Whoa,
the
whoa,
only
whoa, whoa,
ones
whoa,
I
whoa,
eat.
whoa.
Barbecue
Pause. What'd you
baked
say? Come back.
beans.
You
The
don't
only-
eat pork and beans?
Barbecue baked
Because
beans.
Americans
Yeah,
is sweet.
exactly.
Right.
The maple pork and beans, that's
Yeah.
the only one I eat because it's sweet. But regular pigeon peas and
like
beans and
processed
stuff,
food.
I can't eat it.
Yeah, and
I
the
can't
bacon's
eat
like
it.
uncooked.
I can't
Yeah.
I
eat
don't
it.
fuck with that.
I know that someone that makes it from scratch, actually making it from
Oh,
scratch,
wow.
where they put the mustard, the barbecue sauce, and
Okay.
everything, the cinnamon and
Yeah, but not
everything in
that
it.
canned stuff.
It's not the canned one. I know someone that makes it from scratch. That's how when I first came over
You an
here. that's
island
how I had-
girl.
my brother's restaurant, they like wash out everything that it comes
Yes,
on and then
everything,
start with their own
everything.
sauce, like
See?
make their own flavor in it. But he
Yeah.
just takes the cans of beans because it's like the best. But he has to
But
rinse
then
all
he
that.
rinse it.
They rinse all that like red
Yeah, sitting
ketchup
in
looking
that-
stuff off and
yeah,
then
sitting in those
start
cans.
their own.
Those
That's-
cans
that's
have
some-
things in it sometimes. From the heat, dissolve inside the can.
anyways.
So, what's your go-to meal if you're eating healthy now? What's your go-to meal? Something quick.
Quick, I always make like I just have like grain-free granola, yogurt.
Because this is
Fresh.
the leanest I've ever seen you, and he's always
Yeah.
in really great shape. And this is the leanest I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
because I only eat like one meal a day, and then
Really?
like I
How do you
eat- so-
survive?
well, I train my body to. That's what I'm saying. The cleanse, like
What'd you
the,
say, sir? You
yeah.
eat one meal a day?
the transformation. I haven't eaten yet today, really.
What?
Well, I've had food. I've had snacks. Like I've had some little snack bars, just like
It is
ancient grain
9,
snacks.
10.
Right?
I'm gonna eat later though, because I
Bugging.
can't go to bed with like that's something in my
But it's
cycle.
late now. You still gonna eat?
I will because I will need to, or else I'll sit up. Like sometimes, so that's something I've been working on breaking is this cycle of eating at night. But
Yeah.
so I'll try to go home and just like drink some liquids and like maybe have a power shake because it's still liquid.
Yeah.
What's a power shake?
Oh, that's the one. So that's what I say. When I did that transformation in January, like 2 years ago almost, that was like a 30-day period where I like a lot of the things that I was addicted to, it either came to or I got rid of it.
Yeah.
How
And-
do you do that? How do you
I
get
just
rid of
did
it?
that process so that I ate what they told me to for 30 days, and then I did it again, and then I did it again,
You do fasting? Do you
and that's
practice
why.
fasting?
So then, like, 6 months in, I did intermittent fasting
I was
with,
just-
with their
intermittent
food.
fasting is
yeah,
good, too.
and with their process, and then I just did on my own. I did like my own fasting, and I just got to the point where I didn't. Like I'm not as appetite in the morning.
Yeah.
How long should a fast last? I've heard like different.
8 hours?
There's all
opinions.
different ones. So there's the long. So think about what you break fast. So every day you eat, you break fast from the night before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you sleep, you heal. When you and when you except for when your digestion. So like once you stop digesting at night, that's why eating at night. You already knew it. Like it's not good. Why are you doing that? So that's why I have to keep it real light though. If it's light, I can digest that first hour and I sleep the rest of the night. But for me, it's like a comfort. Like go to bed.
I'm learning.
thing.
I'm back on my training, man.
Yeah.
cut
That's
its
what's
weight.
up. Yeah, at nighttime to cut. So that's why, because you'll sit on it. It messes up your sleep. It messes up. So,
True.
but
true
once
that.
you wake up in the morning, if you can just, the longer you go, the longer you're in that space of healing and you're in that fasting mode. So then
space of healing.
I'm just amazed at your dietary choice because are you getting all your nutrients? Just
Well, that's
thinking
why I
from a
started eating
nutrition
meat again,
point,
because-
one meal a day, like is it large? Are you? I mean, not trying to count calories, but like, what is that one meal? What does it look like?
So superfoods aren't enough. You have to eat meat.
No, superfoods have proteins in them. That's what I'm saying. So it's really just about aligning and getting in more alignment of like, oh, what actually. So it's like if you had a steak right now that had 18 grams of protein, and I have this drink right now, I can drink that. I'm gonna be digesting it before on the way home, and then
Right.
you'll be sitting here at night sitting there with that,
Uncomfortable or
and with
full.
all whatever
Trying
else
to wait 4 hours.
and
for
whatever
that,
else is
yeah.
in it. So
I mean,
like.
we was in New York
farting.
and we only had like one meal a day. We
Yeah,
snacked
so you
every
can
day.
go. It's just like a practice, and then you start to learn what
Until
works
we got
for
to
you.
The crib and we had some oatmeal and hot tea.
Facts.
But that's not
Facts.
bad to end your. If that's what you're ending your night with, that's
Yeah,
a lot
that's what
better
we
than a
ended.
lot of like.
We would have
some-
one
yeah.
meal a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time we were
would.
waking up, getting ready to go to an event, we had one meal, went through the
We
day,
would be
but
gone
we
all
had
day.
I had tea and oatmeal
Yeah.
to close the night.
Yeah.
He's ahead of your time.
See, I would have been having some chocolate. Like cacao became my little sweet treat. Like,
Yeah.
cause I try to
Shoot,
like
we'd
sugar.
have to buy that before we get back to the place. Yeah, before
Yeah,
we got
so
back
we-
to the
Sugar's just like everywhere though. It's in
good,
bread.
What's
It's
the
in.
good sugar? Is there a good sugar?
There's no good sugar in
No
the
good
world.
sugar.
There's no good. Less sugar is good sugar.
Don't believe
Yeah.
all that organic stuff. And
I mean, I dive into organic for other reasons because of toxins and that's sprayed on these plants. But even some of the organic stuff has these toxins sprayed on them, or they're just contaminating the waterways that we're in anyways. So we can have a
everybody
whole.
just slaps
yeah.
a label on things now, man.
Yeah, it's wild. And what you like? It's so funny. There's one thing that said guilt-free bar that I walked by, and I just looked at the back,
Really?
and it had 20 different ingredients, and I was like, this can't be guilt-free. And then I found these bars that have 4 ingredients or 5 ingredients, and I'm like, that's guilt-free, but they're not even marketing it. But I paid double, you know.
Yeah.
For the
Getting back to-
guilt-free?
No, for the actual, the
Oh, for
better
the actual,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, the guilt-free was affordable because they tell you, hey, this is no this, and most of the time
Yeah,
those
that's
are
crazy.
yeah. So
It's
you do. It's a costly situation, but
To
I
eat
committed
healthy,
to
it
it.
definitely costs, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
costs.
bought into that for life because I'm 39, and I was feeling 49.
I just did it for jokes.
It's all good. No, so anyways,
Yeah, see, like you don't
Oh
look
my
39
God.
At all.
What are you, 38? 36?
he's the
Yeah.
same. I thought we were the same age.
39? You're 39?
He's older.
No.
41.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Shit.
He
Are you
still has a
serious?
baby face.
That's
He still has the
crazy.
I
same
got
baby
grays
face.
all over my face.
When me and-
all
That
in
shit's
my
crazy.
locks.
When I
thought-
met him, we didn't have grays here. They were just dark or shaded.
Yeah.
That's what the
You're 41?
That's what the
That
hospitality
shit fucked me up
industry will
every
do to you.
time.
That's when you still look young, kids. So you good. You good.
Stress. Oh, here's something about gray hairs I think is real cool, and then you
Yeah,
guys can
talk
do
about
whatever you
it, 'cause
need.
this young-
Gray hair is like your body's way of preserving minerals or something. I have to look into it, but like people with a lot of grays, it's because their body's like literally like needing the minerals. So instead of putting it in the hair, it goes in your body. So that's why you see people that are like they're mineral depletion. It's a way your body making sure it has enough minerals in it.
So
So
that's if
I
you
should
have
want
gray-
grays?
You don't want grays because that means
Oh, don't.
you're not using your body's you're having enough minerals in your body. It's
Okay.
normal though, bro. It's don't be vain about it either. Like, but dude, you're 41. You have a lot. You don't have a lot of grays.
I got grays all in my.
Well,
I got
I
grays in
don't
my
know.
locks.
But
I don't.
I like that. It's fly.
Don't quote me on
like
anything.
fancy.
I
yet.
don't mind them. I don't mind them, but I got grays.
Nothing
You don't
I
have grays in
see.
your hair?
A little bit. Yeah.
Very
look, yeah,
few,
search
though.
for 'em. It's
Okay.
like a needle and
He
haystack.
only got him on his beard.
On
That
my
But,
beard.
like,
And my beard,
this-
they're in my beard. Yeah,
I
they're
got
my
more in my
But he
hair
got
than
the
that.
young face and like
He do.
41,
He
like
do.
that just make you look distinguished. Like
You're
like
right.
I'm
Yeah.
wise. You
Yeah,
feel me?
it's
Like,
good. You don't
young
have too many
Padawan.
grays.
Until you
Know what I
meet me,
mean?
they're like, "Whoa."
And
Nah, don't start.
I show you a man with a lot of grays, and you can just take it easy because he's the same age as you, and it's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
sir.
there's somebody at my job. He actually just recently resigned as well. But yeah, he has a full head of grays, and I think he's like 29.
It also that just made me think of something else though too, man. Like people from my descent tend to have more gray hair, don't they? Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole nother topic, guys.
Yeah,
Because we
that
started
actually-
to get back to our ancestors, where we came from, why we have this,
That's
you know,
true.
like.
That's crazy.
but
I didn't think about
We're unmineralized.
We got
Well,
you- we got
for
you
one
locked
thing,
in
we don't
before,
get the
too.
sun minerals
Right.
because we're the lighter skin doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like the process of getting that vitamin D and those
that.
minerals
What is
from
your
the
background?
sun.
What's your background? If you don't
God, I'm
mind
a mutt though. That's the thing. I don't
We
know.
all mutts on
yeah,
the table.
it's like English, German. There's a native and indigenous here, and Irish. It's like I'm a true like. If you just go through, it's a percentage of this, a percentage of that, with a large percentage German and English.
Shout out
Okay.
to Germany because we have some supporters.
Shout
on
out
the
to
show.
Germany.
Yeah.
And I looked into the database
Okay.
every week. Each episode we released, the last episode they downloaded and listened to was episode 10,
Yeah.
which was yeah.
Do you
last week.
speak different languages? Do you
No.
speak
My
German language? or?
my daughter and son, they had a German nanny when they were
Yeah?
born. So my daughter does Eins, zwei, drei,
What's-
like counts to 10 in
Really?
German.
What's-
Yeah.
That's dope.
Is it just German? What's the language called? Just German?
Dusch.
Dusch?
No, wait, no,
Dusch?
it's Deutschland. No, hold on. It's German, I believe, is the language. Yeah, German.
Dusch.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but Germany is
It's German.
Deutschland. The actual land is Deutschland.
Damn.
Germany is the corporate
Sound
entity.
dirty.
There's
That's just a whole nother little
There's a Greek place
drop.
out here called Greek Islands Tavern, and they have great food. If you want to try
They
it,
do.
Yeah.
I'll let you try
Are
it.
Germans
they do
running
have
it or some damn?
I don't know if a German is running it. My server was German, and
Okay.
I asked him the most silliest thing ever. I'm like, "What's your language?" And he's like, and I'm like, "What do they call you guys?" And he's like, "You know what it is." And I'm like, "German," and he's like, "Yeah, it's German."
But what was it
Yeah,
before
but you just
German
said
though? Germany was
Deutsch.
founded like when
no,
was
I'm
Germany
just saying,
founded?
like,
Yeah,
I asked
it's
him
on
what he
Well, I don't know
is.
what it is though.
I
Yeah.
asked him what he is because you know we're
'Cause-
from the Bahamas. They
Yeah.
call us Bahamians, and I asked him. I said, "What do they call you guys?" And he's like, "German citizens. That's what they call us. You're German.
Hmm.
It's called Germany, but they call us Germans."
Germans,
and I was
yeah.
like, "What is your language?" And he's like, German
German.
language. And I was like, "Wow, okay, good."
But it
It
comes
was
from
some-
something else. It's all everything goes
Now,
back Germanic.
I'm
It
pretty
goes back to
sure
Germanic.
He grew up there and he
Hebrew or
was raised there. He just came over here, like he said, 8 years ago, and he's older than I am. So I'm pretty sure if I asked him what was the language before. I'm pretty sure he
might
break it
know,
down,
yeah.
you know?
That's dope.
It's just all everything curious.
And
everything comes from
really,
something.
he was really cool. So it's not like someone that you could talk to and they're not conversational. Like I'm pretty sure I could ask him.
And that's dope. Your kids already had the experience of different culture, different language.
Yeah, it was really
German
nice.
nanny.
That's good.
She used to talk to my daughter like up till 4 just in German all afternoon. Yeah, so my daughter would understand her and like operate off of it. And now she's double that age, but so it's changed. Like I don't really think she knows a lot of it.
The mother of your kids is, because that's the proper way you say it. The mother of your kids is she's she's German too, or
she was Polish, but they were
I
German.
only asked because your daughter knew German, so I thought you both taught it in the home. It's just you.
No, it was just like the nanny that we had that like would pick. She lived in a neighborhood and she would just pick them up every day and every day. And then even when she moved, she was still
German.
She was German.
Nice.
She's from. She would travel back for a month at a time or so. So yes, it was interesting. So she would meet other German people too. So it was cool.
That's good.
Yeah. So
it takes a village.
well, it exposed their mind. It at least
takes a
exposed their
village.
mind to like that multi-language, because it's like when kids are little and they hear more languages, when they're older, they're able to receive or learn them faster. They say like science-wise, because their brain
Younger,
works.
you learn better, or when you get older.
Well, I don't even know. I just
Maybe
know
younger.
that if you've exposed to if you're bilingual, you're like your brain exposure has to like learn that words have different sounds and meanings.
It's just learning it for
You're
the first
receiving
time.
one information, have to dissect it and just translate it, and then the other part is like to be able to speak out again. Like,
it's like trying to learn
wild.
Spanish. It's like I can learn a part of it, but then
I knew
it's like
when I was
getting,
younger,
like, tongue twisted.
There's so much grammatical errors you can have. There's so many different like slang terms. There's so much like the ebonics of actual understanding proper Spanish.
Yeah.
Versus Spaniards.
Yeah.
That speak,
that's
very
a whole
proper.
other,
That's
a whole other
it's
story.
Crazy. Because we must. I'm Dominican, Bahamian, Guyanese, and it's like everyone's always like, "What are you?" Or like working in a restaurant, they're like, "Oh, you Jamaican? Are you Haitian?" I'm just like, "No, I've gotten Swahili."
When Teddy asked me, Teddy was like, "What's Manny?" I was like, "Manny's one of those Spanish blacks." I'm asking him. He's one of them. Like,
yeah, and it goes in and
baby.
out sometimes because there's times I've actually been called a Bahamian, and I don't feel like I hear my own accent sometimes. But when I'm around a lot of cultural people and I just start speaking it, like I have cousins that are from St. Kitts and stuff and from Freeport, and I'm just around them, and I guess it just comes out. I don't know.
Or they can hear it probably.
Yeah.
And guys, Jamaica is not the only island in the Caribbean.
Why is that always rerouted to that?
Jamaica,
that's the cool
Jamaican, Haitian, or some kind of Spanish.
We're all cool. I don't hate them. I have friends.
Oh yeah, I've never been one of those.
I have friends
it's the tourist cool.
Nah, some people are sensitive about it.
Yeah.
Some people are sensitive about that.
The
like
whole
calling them a
Caribbean.
different
Shout out to
culture.
the whole Caribbean.
True that.
Shout out
you know
to
the thing
world.
from being here is just like in my shoes, it's the reason that everyone knows Jamaica is really Bob Marley. No, I'm just teasing. I don't really know.
No, you're right.
Bob Marley was so
you're absolutely
influential.
right.
And
The Marley kids.
Yeah,
Dutch
and then they're
spot.
here still,
Diamonds.
so it just always.
They're not in Cali. I'm just saying, like
They
a
chill in
lot of
my-
people know Bob Marley.
Yes.
A lot of people know Bob Marley.
99%. Bob Marley's like you could put it next to like Mickey Mouse, and it's like it's as recognizable somewhere else. Like to me at least.
He's
I
a
don't
radical
know.
and a
for sure.
revolutionist. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, he sparked what we're living in now. Like those that are still inspired to create change to the day. It was a huge part of his inspiration, certainly.
Did you idolize anybody growing up?
Emmett
Speaking
Smith,
about Bob Marley,
football. Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith.
That's a good question.
Idol. I say idol. I try not in that word. I don't like to idol anybody anymore because it's like against what I like read, But looked up to, I like Emmitt Smith was the guy, man.
I feel like when you idolize people, you see something in them that you see in yourself, or you know about yourself.
Right.
Yeah. That's
There's
what I
a
feel.
reflection
It's
in that.
relatable, yeah.
I just the term of it, man. I'm
Yeah.
getting very into the words and what they mean and like what that is in the Bible is the idolatry. You know what I mean? So it's like, do I see that being? And that's I respected him a lot, and I saw like the way he played ball.
And he was Gainesville.
Yeah, and he was hard. Yeah, and I watched him play in college before he was like pro.
Yeah, I played some ball too, man. That's dope. That's
what
crazy.
position you played?
I played both sides of the ball.
Both sides, offense and defense?
Big dude, yeah.
What was it,
offensive
though?
guard, defensive tackle.
Okay.
Nice.
So I tried to cut weight for a college ball for DN, but I was like,
How was it with your knees?
they wanted me to
'Cause
get bigger.
How was
when I
it
got to
with your
college.
knees? Because sometimes like even
Well,
with
that's what they
baseball,
say about linemen. Your
even-
knees go first.
Even with baseball, like when you're what do they call it?
Catcher?
The catcher.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta keep going
Yeah.
up and down, and you got
your legs got to be strong.
Yeah.
I'm very.
All those
I am
ligaments,
top
all
heavy,
those
but my
everything, yeah.
legs are strong. Like I can lift a lot of weight. I hold a lot of weight, so my legs are strong.
That's good.
That's one thing. And I'm big on, like when you talk about the meditation, I'm really big on stretching every morning, like actual different positions and twists and turns, being able to sit.
It's like I saw a post. We're
breathe.
not old. We're just tight. We just don't stretch.
People don't stretch. People just wake up, go.
No one stretches anymore.
That's
sit
one
down
of the
and go.
secrets to living long is stretching.
After
Yeah.
and before.
Yeah.
Every morning when you wake up,
Yeah. If
you
you're
should stretch, and going to bed, you should
Right.
stretch.
If you're about to do something like super heavy exercise, I don't personally suggest stretching. I suggest warming up and like little interval things. But yeah, day in and day out, twice a day stretching, that's longevity. That's going to create flexibility. It's also going to create the energy and motion, right? And the breath that goes with it. So it's just all these like simple, you know.
I'm
It's
gonna
like,
pay attention to that more, like how you can just.
I'm
my
sorry.
breathing.
I'm looking at you, and I just picture I don't know his first name, but I think his name is Jack Dorsey. Do you know who that is?
Jack Dorsey.
He's a
Well, I should
CEO
know- I
for
should know.
Twitter.
Oh.
He just stepped down like yesterday, I
I
think.
know who you're talking
But I'm
about.
looking at you. You
got a
have the
little
different
beard.
color hair. He has a black hair, but he has the same beard as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
How
guys
bad is
resemble
my
each
beard
other.
right now?
Yeah, Jack Dorsey. Yeah.
Hey, his
AB,
beard.
here's what I wanted to ask you, bro, because we've talked about like superfoods, but like super plants. Like, what do you know about like psilocybin? Like, what are like the good plants that everyone told us is bad? Like hemp or whatever. Like, what are the good plants that we shouldn't be afraid of?
I wouldn't
Like
be,
mushrooms.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of
Wink, wink.
mushrooms just in the like knowing what they are and like knowing
Yuck.
where you're getting it from and
Son.
what you're like ingesting. Because like
Don't knock it.
a trip could be bad. I've never had a bad trip though.
Neither have
think
I.
that goes.
Oh, you
yeah.
talking about shrooms?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
talking about like
Yeah, but
eating
that's,
them.
as a chef
Psilocybin
though, man.
mushrooms.
Yeah, I
No,
love
but that's the
room. I
thing.
love
As a
shrooms.
chef, like I cook with them. I just don't care for them.
Cook with those
personally.
mushrooms too.
Yeah, I cook
Well,
with them all the time.
Reish, do you
And
use
I've
like
had
those?
shrooms before.
Have you
But I
heard?
haven't had a trip like how. Suppose I haven't had the proper trip because I had it as. I've had it as a
Microdose?
milkshake, and I've had it as
No,
chocolate.
no.
And they're
Everyone's
like-
different.
Yeah.
But I believe
No.
I believe that time's coming where everyone's moving in that direction anyway. So that will become like
the
it's already
age of
legal in
Aquarius.
Denver or Colorado. You can go there and they have it like you can. It's like a medicinal thing. I don't know how it works, but point in cases there's a huge push for it, and it just it eliminates anxiety, PTSD. It's kind of like
People microdose with
yeah,
mushrooms
regular-
to get over
yeah,
their.
Yeah, I tried it. I'm not gonna lie. I did that for a little while, just out of someone said you should try this, and I was like, hey,
There's
maybe
just
I
something
will.
blocking me because it's a fungus. It's
Manny,
naturally
You're not a fun guy.
That,
I'm a fun guy.
Manny, you're a
And
fun
that-
guy.
listen,
You
you
seem fun
like
to
it,
me.
bro.
and I eat seafood. Seafood is like the fungus of the sea. Like it's bacteria.
Yeah.
Like it's bottom of the barrel. But
Everyone has look.
Like, it's different. I'm
When I
just
was
weird on
18,
it.
I hated the taste of the mushrooms that we were
Yeah,
getting
it's
when I grew
terrible.
up. But now I'm
Eat it in
just
a peanut
used
butter
to it.
sandwich or some shit.
ew,
Drowning out.
What?
Now
Just so
I
you
could
don't taste it.
Now I just eat it. If I'm gonna have them, just eat it and swallow it. And it's just like something that'll just appear for me. People will show up and be like, "Hey, I got this." I'm like, "This is a good time to try this out."
Rehydrated and
Yeah,
everything.
but
yeah.
it, honestly, for dude, you wouldn't believe this. Like I was talking to someone, my back was hurting. He's like, "Dude, if you did a mushroom trip, your back will probably get better."
Mushrooms help with
They,
a lot
they're
of health things. I'm being
anti-inflammatory.
serious.
Like to the
Crazy.
extent that I tried
Yeah.
it while my back was hurting, and I was like,
Try some shrooms.
"Yeah." For
Psilocybin.
that time was
Well, we about to
one of the
go
times I had
trippy,
like
man.
a period where I didn't hurt.
Shout out to Anson Pack.
So your back didn't hurt.
Yeah, for that period of time, it was like, whoa, I should try this a couple more times, like to help myself, because I was in some anyway. unbearable
Holistic
pain.
healing. This
Yeah,
stuff is real.
so quick, just so shrooms. I mean, cannabis in the right manner, not like
What's
not
the right manner?
where it serves you and doesn't
Medical.
hurt you. Like, so if you're doing it so frequently, or if you get in trouble with it, so not having a
I'm
medical
trying to
card.
intake it and I'm trying to
Yeah.
operate still.
So that being so that could be helpful. There's all kinds of plant medicines, man. Something that's big with a lot of people is rape or hape, and it's like tobacco in your nose.
Yes, and there's
cleans-
like a spread too.
Yeah.
It's like
So there's all
I
kinds
didn't know
of
about
stuff.
this.
I
My
try to stay all
grandmother's the one
natural.
talked about that. They had like a
The
she would, like
OG.
rub it, like with some aloe. Like why is it always like aloe? But like rub things on your nose to help open up your sinuses when you're sick. Yeah, when you're congested.
Yeah, I use oils a lot, herbal oils,
Oils?
peppermints. I mean, I got some.
Yes.
I always carry a couple, but like
See,
some like
fire.
that's a strong oil right there, man. Like if you open that up, you'll smell it, like, you know. But yeah, so, dude, there's stuff I don't even know about. I've never tried ayahuasca, but I've met a lot of people that have, and there's different experiences from that. There's 5-MeO DMT, which is like from a frog, which is that one's to me like they're literally taking the poison from the frog and put it on you, and then
yeah.
But there's more. There's also snake venom. So like people are, it's foreign to us, but the people that we wiped out of this country, they know all about it. There's only a little bit of them left. Yeah. But they're bringing it back. It's one of their tales that will come into a place where it doesn't matter your skin color. It's just about like unity, growth, and coming back together. So it's like one of those, what do you call it? Like prophecies of the indigenous, and we're living in it right now. So they're bringing medicine back to everybody. And so you're starting to see it more and more like common, or hear about it or whatever, you know? So
man, this has like, I appreciate you, because this has been dope. A dope conversation, very educational, very informative. Like,
he helps people find their life meaning and stuff too, right?
Listen, man,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you have social media, but I definitely want to follow, and I definitely want to definitely connect again.
Yeah, we can do this again. I'd love to.
Absolutely. We'll get you for
and
season 2.
I want to know about that garden. Like, well, I want to help. Give me some tips.
Yo, it's a lot of fruits, veggies. It's like it's a whole community. It's a real community.
It's fire.
There's also a spot in David you can hit up, and they'll like you can kind of like go help them out a little bit, and they'll just teach you about gardening stuff and like your herbs, Ricky Tree, Botanica,
I'm a
Organica.
workaholic. I got you.
Yeah, bro, and it's right up your alley if you're cooking, anyways. Real quick, my Instagram is Aaron B.
There you go. Shout him out. Where your camera? Where this camera?
RONB.
Which one? 1, 2, 3. Over there.
AARONB _ I just changed it AHARON, which is actually just like the original name.
If you want him to like replace your drywall or your driveway or like, and he does everything. He does everything.
We do it all.
I'm a
walking trade
creator. Yeah.
A walking creator. Take that trade back. Walking creator.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in another week. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
You know, shout out to you. Shout out
AB.
to all day.
Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, watch it, listen to it,
Every
stream
Tuesday.
it, everything. Every
I'm
Tuesday.
watching you. I see them buttons going on there. You know, click.
Shout out to Devin Kari. Thank you.
Okay, Devin Curry, shout out to you. I see you. Appreciate
Thank
you.
And
Love.
shout out to Aaron.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
Shout out to
Aaron.
AB Ballin.
Shout out to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
No Plain Janes.
No Plain Janes.
No plain Jane here.